Hello, everyone. My name is Bill Miller. I am a relatively older author, founder, CEO of my own company, and I am a member of AVCCI. I joined this year. I've been on the podcast, the ABC podcast, uh, ABP podcast, and I really enjoy this particular group. So I'm the author of two books, The Rookie CEO, You Can't Make This Stuff Up, and What Every CEO Must Know, 37 Secrets to Lead with Confidence and Power. I founded my own company, which is consulting now. I added publishing to it in 2011. It's Beeline Bill Enterprise. That's on beelinebill.com. And that website is being updated. This week it should be updated. And uh, last year co-founded a company called Zaboom with three O's, LLC, Zaboom LLC, where we do voice AI uh, in mostly outbound calling. We do some inbound. So those are the things that I'm actively involved in. I have 5.5 decades in technology, the last 3.5 decades as an executive leader. Uh, I have had a seat at the table. I worked for many rookie CEOs or first time CEOs, another way to say rookie, at various phases of their role. And that's what drove the creation of my first book, um, Living in the Trenches, being a number two executive in a company and knowing how decisions are made, knowing good decisions, bad decisions, decisions that could have gone either way. Think about your life. Every major decision in your life is a fork in the road. If you go this way, you take that job. If you go that way, you take another job. And that sets you up for whatever is next. And so our life is really built around the decisions we make and how they come out. So uh, I I've written about a lot of these experiences. The second book, I have actually firsthand stories from many CEOs in there. Some of them are CEO stories that I tell as the number two man or somebody on the executive team. Uh, because you see, over the years, you see patterns of things that CEOs tend to do, especially first timers. First timers go in, they have a business function that they came from typically, unless they're a super young founder when they're very early, and they, especially these days with AI, there's a lot of founders that have never been in a corporate company, corporate America, where they've learned all of the things uh, that you go through to work your way up the chain. So typically, um, though, the first time CEOs, all the ones I've worked with, they come from a business function. It could be engineering, could be sales, could be marketing, could be finance, and they have expertise that got them to where they were to be positioned for the CEO role. In one way or another, they either got promoted or they got hired into that role. When you get in there, you don't know what motivates all the other teams unless you have worked with somebody who's a coach or an advisor, board of directors, whoever it is that becomes your right hand right out of the chute. You really don't know what you don't know. And so my second book and a lot of my speaking now and my writing is about blind spots. And so I'll be releasing kind of a new offer very shortly that'll be on the new website, which is you'll be able to do a free CEO assessment to identify the top blind spots, the top things that you need help with. You get a free assessment. You can get an assessment brief report from me. All of that is for free. And then if you want to go into an intensive, what I call a blind spot intensive, then you can work with me for a modest fee. But there's a lot of experience there. I help people work around challenges that they you just can't see around the corner. And a lot of times, again, like I said, you don't know all the different business functions. You know the one you come from the best. You might have opinions that you're a good marketer or a good salesperson and maybe you are because you've learned from good people that have worked with you over the years. But to put it all together and be that person at the top, and your boss is the board of directors, or outside people's, outside investors or shareholders, it gets to be a little bit more difficult when it's your decision. And who do you go to? Who do you talk to? Uh, what kind of advice are you going to get? Is it going to be filtered or unfiltered? Who do you trust? Who can you trust? All of those things. I try to help you build muscle uh, to handle all of those specific situations. And again, my books are to help first-time CEOs, founders, and stuck CEOs kind of move forward, see what other people have done, see how it's worked out. Think about my second book, The 37 Secrets to Lead with Confidence and Power, what every CEO must know there. It's real stories. They're the biggest mistakes CEOs have made, how they could have avoided it, how they recovered from it, and how they moved forward. And you'll see in that book, if you read it, and I do recommend it, it's a great read, with 37 Secrets to help you. The thing is that other people made these mistakes. You can see how they got there and the decision they made, why they made it, and what the results of that were in their particular company. And more than half of the CEOs that I write about in that book, these are their stories directly from them that they gave to me with rights to print it, use their name, the company that they were at. Several other CEOs gave me the rights to their story, but would not identify themselves by name and company because they're still there. And so they're surviving. Uh, Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has blind spots. You should shorten your cycle to better leadership, making better decisions, especially under pressure, and especially when you don't know what you don't know. So those are the things that kind of make me tick these days. Um, Again, think about what I do. I have Beeline Bill Enterprises, which is my uh, kind of like I call it a consulting firm. It used to be Beeline Bill Consulting, and then I changed it. But I have my publishing firm there, my consulting firm, and uh, and everything else that I do personally. I have my two books. I'm a co-founder of Zaboom, again with three O's, Zaboom LLC, which is a voice AI startup, about 7 or 8 months old now. And we have our first customers working on product market fit. Um, we have some pretty satisfied return customers. It's a month to month SaaS type situation with voice AI. So my partner and I, as my life partner and business partner, we stay focused on using AI in business and all of the different types of methodologies. I have a blog on TMCnet, ceoinsights.tmcnet.com, which is the company called TMC, which is Technology Marketing Corporation. Um, the CEO is Rich Durrani, president is Dave Rodriguez. I've been involved with them for years. I moderate a CEO Insights panel at IT Expo for the last 6 years in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and build a panel of 3 to 4 CEOs, and we just have a topic, whatever that topic is in the track we're on. So I do that. All of the recordings of those panels are on my YouTube channel, which if you do searches for Beeline Bill, which is my brand, BEELINEBILL, same as my website. If you do searches for Beeline Bill, you'll find pretty much all of my a lot of my things. There's videos for also the CEO success stories that's sponsored by the Cloud Voice Alliance. I'm sort of a content advisor there, and I interview CEOs in the telecom space and related because I've been involved in that market for many, many years. Uh, and and voice AI is kind of part of that because voice is coming back as a big thing these days. Uh, there's nothing like a good old telephone call. And now voice AI is considered an automated call by the FCC and TCPA, Telecommunications Consumer Protection Act. And when you think about all of the things that I do in a semi-retired mode, I'm kind of busier now than I was when I was working full time, which I left technology uh, in 2020. That's when I wrote my first book in 2020. The second book was published the end of 25. I stay active. It's one of the reasons that I joined the AVCCI and their book club. We featured me in the first inaugural of that particular podcast, and my book is listed on the AVCCI Book Club website. So, kind of that's me in a nutshell. I live in Maplewood, Minnesota, which is part of St. Paul. Um, I come from the Boston area, so I'm a hardcore Boston and New England sports fan. I was born and bred in that area, went to school in Needham, Mass, and then Northeastern. I've lived in many states besides Massachusetts, California, Southern California, Northern California. I've lived in Huntsville, Alabama when I worked for Digium. Uh, I I've lived in Minnesota now twice. This is my second time, and we're here because of a grandbaby that's a half an hour away. And so I stay pretty active online, and this is a great group to be part of.